Coming up on today's wrestling news, Shane McMahon reaches out to AEW.
Spoilers on AEW World Champions clashing at Forbidden Door.
Joe Hendry keeps breaking WWE records.
And we've got injury updates for these missing AEW stars.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. And Hamflett, it's finally happening. The big signing for All Elite Wrestling, the game changer. Shane McMahon's off to AEW.
The Shane changer, it would appear.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But possibly.
Maybe.
So, you may remember a while back, Jim Ross was asked about Shane going to AEW, and he said, it's so crazy, it might work. Well, on the latest episode of Grilling JR, one of the best wrestling podcasts out there, Hamlet, you know, that's not ours, he was chatting to the brilliant Conrad Thompson, who shed a bit of additional light on the subject, saying, last week got a lot of chatter online about some of the things we talked about. One conversation in particular really stuck out, and people are talking about, if you recall, you said it's so crazy you think it might work, depending on how it was positioned or introduced. Shane called me the other day. He's called 2 or 3 times, which I appreciate. He's always been sensitive in that respect. That's only a question that Shane can answer. Shane and Tony being together, how would that work creatively? Heck, who knows? It might be great. And he continues, I saw a few fans, one in particular, who thought this was the most ridiculous thing he'd ever heard. One guy in particular said, JR is effing senile now. I engaged a little with that. There was a friend of ours, I shouldn't say their name, Joe Hendry, no, that's later, but he went out of his way to text me and say, hey, that's not as crazy as you think. Yeah. I know for sure that Shane McMahon has reached out to wrestlers on the AEW roster to at least hypothetically discuss the idea. Are we saying that's going to happen? No. We are saying it's not that crazy of an idea.
Really tickled me. What the hell's JR saying? No, reaching out, that's the terminology we're going with, isn't it? There have been overtures made reaching out. Look, people can have conversations. We talk about this all the time. When we chat about like wrestler contracts and moves and talent switches or whatever, the wrestlers themselves, the human beings, they're in the WhatsApps like everybody else. Yeah. They're allowed to have conversations. They're independent contractors for one thing, so they should do. Shane McMahon, as we know by his insane Royal Rumble wage, is also somehow an independent contractor.
Will they have enough money to pay him?
How can he get in there and beat up so many guys all at once? I'll tell you how. Blood and Guts 2024. Apparently the Elite need a 5th man.
Oh my God.
Here comes the money. Now, it's not going to happen as soon as that, and it might not even happen. But what I love about this is a couple of things. One, it's bananas. Years and years ago, we spoke, I'm talking like 2019, 2020, we talked about the insanity of a Shane McMahon that appeared once again on the outs with WWE being the one to just walk out on Dynamite and just blow everybody's mind. 2, the 4th and final edition of Death of WCW will air soon, featuring the footage that was taped that day from that final Nitro in Panama City, when who was there to kind of oversee everything? Shane McMahon. It's some like interesting happenstance. I haven't seen episode 3. I know you're a big fan.
I think that might be that episode, you know.
Is it right? Okay, I knew that was
the
Vince Russo is here.
You're right, Russo's the 3rd one.
Thought there was one more to come, but so he'll be back in the conversation as a kind of infamous day in wrestling history anyway. And here's a sort of, I don't know, like visualising it, it's a spiritual sequel, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
The unthinkable, but no longer the impossible.
Yeah. I actually said, Siege, what do you reckon to Shane McMahon going to AEW? I mean, he could have dream matches with the likes of Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay, and he melted. So, we should say, by the way, and amongst all having fun with this, the McMahon name is incredibly toxic right now.
Yes, it's obviously there's never been, it's McMahon-less WWE officially. Stephanie McMahon made that cameo at WrestleMania. Triple H, of course, married him, but it's the first time that none of the 4 are part of the TKO thing. It's and yes, everything to do with the Vince McMahon WWE John Laurinaitis sex trafficking lawsuit kind of be ignored in part of this. But Shane McMahon, I think, carrying the chaos of his career that he's had as a wrestler, trying to like earn the respect of the boys, and all of the times that he's tried to, he tried to get the web version of ECW on the go. I think in his mind,
he wanted to buy UFC, didn't he?
For like a billionaire's kid, I think he's always fancied himself as counterculture, even that he was. Can you imagine if like when he was an ECW fan, if him and Tony Khan like bumped into each other at ECW Arena and didn't know.
Yeah.
You've got billions. Yeah, me too. Tell anybody. No. Who knows? Stranger things have most definitely happened in pro wrestling than that, but this would be one of the wilder ones.
Basically start making the Shane McMahon is All Elite graphic right now.
Oh, it's the new CM Punk one. Remember for years where there was fan-made ones of them? That's the one now, is Shane McMahon. Whether or not you pick him from his like wrestler era with his like custom-made like baseball shirts in the early 2000s. Me personally, Raw Underground War correspondent. It's probably
sick.
That's probably my Shane at this point.
Yeah.
Either way, drenched in sweat.
Sweaty man, yes.
Yeah. Braun era Shane McMahon.
Mercedes, I know you need an opponent for the next pay-per-view. Well, here comes the money.
Let us know in the comments who you'd book Shane McMahon against an AEW, or indeed
First match we can confirm Shane McMahon is All Elite, and he will face either...
Go on, you go first.
Okay. Either... Keith Lee.
oh, he would kill it. Oh, the Adam Cole spot again. Like, or a battle of the second generation stars when Shane McMahon takes on Hook. So let's go.
Probably beat Hook, if anything.
Well, yeah, has to obviously. Right, moving on to actual AEW wrestlers on the actual AEW roster now.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Big sirens on the screen. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Oh, where's my sirens gone? Someone's taking my toys away. Right, Big E, say spoiler alert. There you go.
Have sufficient warning to skip on to the next story if you don't want to know.
Spoiler alert! There we go.
This addition to the Forbidden Door card featuring two AEW former world champions going head-to-head. That's right, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. No, no, unfortunately not. It's the team of Hook, Samoa Joe, and Katsuyori Shibata, who
Love
of course
this trio.
had loads of fun on AEW Dynamite this week.
Premier athletes must be there.
They are, well, you'd think so. One of them on the other side is a Premier athlete. Two of them, in fact. Yeah, they're going to be taking on a new assemblage of three wrestlers at the moment, and always happens to me. I cannot remember the name of this act, but let me whisper it to you and I'll see if you can...
I'm a learning tree!
Yeah, Collision was taped last night, and like I was going to say, as predicted, maybe not. They were actually separated on television, and you kind of thought, Hook has helped. Joe has helped Hook escape the Jericho Vortex.
Yeah, maybe they'll go after the trios titles.
Yeah, I saw an image of that.
Not
as well.
long term, they might.
Big Bill's back in trunks, so it's not all bad.
Oh, yes, please.
Guy's got gorilla legs. I did like him in his jeans and all that, but yeah. The Learning Tree will featuring Chris Jericho, of course, will take on Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe as another Forbidden Door match. Another sort of AEW versus AEW one.
Yeah.
Shibata's not really New Japan anymore, so yeah. Get hyped, I guess.
As long as Joe, Hook, and Shibata destroy them, I'm okay with it. My concern is that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would. If I'm Shibata right now, I would be asking Siri how you get out of this match, rather than a translation on what Jericho's trying to say.
I will say, was it the Jericho Shibata match where Shibata had the bin on his head?
People did go for that one. Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that one.
Yeah, and it will be. I can well imagine Jericho sort of Bagsy in the party match on a card like Forbidden Door as well. I love that. Thanks very much.
I picture as a man who says, "Look, if you don't need me on the card, that's absolutely fine." You know.
Yeah.
Which one's closer to reality?
We're really getting you guys out of trouble right now. Right. End of spoilers. End of spoilers. End of spoilers. Collision 2 out this weekend, and if you don't want to know the result and you just skip past that, watch Collision for a new Forbidden Door match this weekend.
Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. We believe in Joe Hendry. Obviously, phenomenal surprise on this week's NXT. We've talked about the excitement around that, the happiness from all parties, WWE and TNA around it, the social media reaction, the plans for him going forward. Yeah. And it's understandable why. The reason I say he's breaking records all over the place, I think it's the most liked, I don't know if it's video, tweet, whatever, most liked thing
on their YouTube account.
Yes, since WrestleMania 40. And now Joe has helped them do a monster rating as well. Now, I'll say the viewership kind of remained the same. Last week it was 718,000, this week 724,000, so not that much of an uptick. But the rating is the best one of the year, the highest demo of 2024 for NXT. Last week it was a 0.22, this week a 0.26. That is huge for NXT. Obviously they beat AEW Dynamite in the ratings last week. I mean, yes, the demo was better for AEW than it was NXT, but it was only 0.01, and that's within the margin of error. So I went to the viewership and they destroyed them in that. But it's going to be very interesting going forward. Dynamite ratings dropping a little bit later this week because of holidays and stuff in America. But this is, I mean, crap discourse, AEW versus WWE aside, this is genuinely just great for NXT, isn't it?
Yeah, let's contextualise this for NXT, and especially for Joe Hendry. not only is this the best rating of NXT's year and a sign again of the momentum that the brand's got, and it's like one of those key moments where it's like, right, well, who is the difference maker? And the answer, like staggeringly, has been answered, not Cody Rhodes, but Joe Hendry. This is the one. This is the number. Cody Rhodes appeared obviously on NXT last week in a transparent attempt to take that week from AEW that did not work ultimately. This one was not that. This was just part of the ongoing storyline of the TNA NXT integration, the Battle Royal and all that. Hendry wasn't promoted, but he was suspected, but that's kind of the best kind of wrestling surprise, I think. To the point where like he can absolutely claim the buzz and the number, because we did it ourselves on the podcast. When you're picking names, you would pick Joe Hendry. And then in the aftermath, the people that wanted to catch up went and saw it, as evidenced by the YouTube numbers. An unbelievable week for Joe Hendry. If I'm him, I get that second single out there quick. Capitalise on the success back in the charts where you're already a massive star. Yeah.
Joe Hendry makes things better, quite clearly.
Very much so. He's in action for, alongside Ace Steel, of all people.
Yes!
On TNA, which is interesting because, keeping company with Ace Steel when you're also trying to make friends in NXT is probably not the worst person to hang around with if you do the rest of the maths right now.
Scotty Dog, that's the name of their tag team.
That is unbelievable business. A broadcast professional, the only journalist in the game.
Genuinely, though, that might be perceived as quite offensive. So I'll just say a massive congratulations to Joe. We're huge fans of his. We've known him for years. This is just awesome, and it'll be very interesting to see off the back of this if they announce Joe Hendry's going to be back next week.
Yeah, and he's obviously kind of put that across in the digital exclusive. Said I could appear anywhere. So he's.
He should fight HBK.
Straight on there. Get on the next sort of PLE special. Joe Hendry versus Shawn Michaels.
Whip!
Of course. Moving back over to AEW, wrestlers at the moment can't get on television or indeed get back in the ring. A couple of injury updates for people that have been out a while. We've got Dynamite's The Blade, of course. A good reason for why the show isn't quite back on track is because there's not enough Butcher and The Blade.
Yes.
But he did offer an update on his status during one of those virtual signings that we get now with KNS WrestleFest, quickly becoming like a low-key scoop source.
Yeah, should we do a virtual signing?
What, like where we get wrestlers in?
Send me money and I might do it.
Oh, right, yeah. I thought you meant like we arrange wrestlers to come into the office and sign stuff.
The talent.
You've got a line with Stacks, haven't you, from NXT?
I can have a word.
Get in touch.
I'm not sure if he's too busy doing one of his rants in his car, which are class, by the way. Check out his Twitter for that.
Or his brilliant streams with Ariana Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Man's a multimedia megastar. The Blade, he's been out since February. He's got a back injury. AEW at the moment, it's a theme, isn't it? Anyone that can get themselves back even near to recovery with all in on the horizon. It's Wembley. It's the thing they're all looking towards. The Blade says, quote, "I'm currently on the injured reserve list, but still with the company." He was asked about All In specifically. He said, quote, "I'm hoping so. My back's slowly improving and I'm aiming to be back in a couple of months." He also noted that he's going to be around at least for the Buffalo events. He's part of the Buffalo Kids set.
Yeah.
It's always a big night for them.
Hope for the best for him. Really like The Blade. My rumours that I've heard, obviously I've got my birds out there. A little passing secrets onto me. They're obviously going to Wales. We reported that yesterday. That's class. Ahead of All In. And as a result of that, he's going to make a tag team with a famous celebrity, a Welsh celebrity, I believe. Colin Jackson, the hurdler, Olympic athlete.
Right.
Blade Runner. That's what they're going to be called. So, you heard it here first.
Speaking of tag teams, Aussie Open can't work as one at the moment on account of Mark Davis being out.
There's a second one of these news videos coming your way as well today. God, we're spoiling you.
Kyle Fletcher, kind of a man on an island anyway between Will Ospreay and the Don Callis family, but also without his partner, Mark Davis. And he was speaking on that on WGN radio during an interview. He said, unfortunately, there was no time for Davis's return, no timeline for it at present. He did say,
quote, been out ages, hasn't he, Mark?
Yeah, he said, "I can't exactly say what's happening with him right now. That's his story to tell. But he's doing well. He definitely will be back at some point, though we don't have an exact timeline. I can't wait to team up with him again." I bet if you're Kyle Fletcher, you miss your mate right now, because it's a difficult time for him.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Fletcher's doing obviously great things. I think he's really come on. I remember obviously we had Aussie Open in WCPW, great tag team. But yeah, Kyle Fletcher, he's really bulked up recently. He's working on, he's got a title.
Unbelievable match with Will Ospreay a couple of months.
Really, really good stuff. I'd say a better match with Will Ospreay than Ray Phoenix.
I would agree.
On comparing the two Dynamite matches. But yeah, Mark Davis, lovely bloke. It sucks for him to be suffering from an injury. We wish him well and the Blade in their recovery. We'll keep you posted. But yeah, fingers crossed everyone can get well soon over the next couple of months because big show's coming up.
Indeed.
Coming to the UK a couple of times.
your eye on this channel for more chat about that, hopefully.
That's all we can say for now. But yeah, let us know who you want to see Shane wrestle in AEW in the comments section below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Join us later on today for a second news video. But for now, why not check out this video right here? We'll see you soon.